Hey, it's Paul from internetrich.com. This is a very quick get you started beginner's guide to Camtasia 7.0. This should work for any version of Camtasia starting with number 7, but they do release new versions every 6 months or so, major revisions. So I presume you've downloaded it. You get a free 30-day trial, fully functional, if you go to Camtasia at TechSmith website. It presents you with a screen when you first start. You can untick the box, but it asks you, do you want to record the screen, record your voice, record some PowerPoint, or import some movies. I'm just going to close this because I'll show you what I usually do. So at the very top it says import media. Click on that, and what you can do is import files such as AVI, MP3s, MP4s, images, or some audio files. So I'm going to import an AVI here. It's just something I recorded earlier. What I recommend you do is just to use any little video and just practice, because you'll learn the quickest. So this is your clip bin here. In order to bring this into the workflow area, you just grab it and put it down, and this was the workflow area, or it's sometimes called the timeline. What size would you like your video to be? It depends on your output. If this is going to be a CD-ROM, and you may want 800 by 600, but generally if you're going to be doing this for YouTube or some sort of other device where you're sharing, you may want to start off at 640, 480. But again, have a play. This video is just to get you going. So if you press play, you can see a version of your movie here, as it would look when it's finally finished. I've pressed play and it's moving along the timeline here. So I'm going to press pause, and I'm going to grab the red marker here, and I'm just going to drag the time indicator along, and it's highlighted this portion in here. What you can do with this area, if you right click in it, you've got several choices. The one you're going to use mostly is cut. You'll normally want to cut something out where you've just been hanging around while you've been recording and it's dead time, or perhaps there's just a part where you've forgot to stop recording and you've made some noise or answered the telephone. So press cut, and hey presto, it's got rid of that part of the movie here. Now something that you'll want to do to start with, if you press the left marker here, it goes all the way to the beginning. You want to add something called a title clip. So this will be an intro to what your video is about, or it could have your company logo. If it doesn't appear here on the left, what you can do is click on the more and then title clips. Click on add title clip, and it will add it to where your marker is down here. So I've left the white background. You could type something in here, but what I like to do often is add an image. And I like to add the logo, the company logo, for whichever particular company I'm producing a video for. So if we go to logos, obviously be different on your desktop. My Internet Rich logo, press open, and you can see it's inserted it here. And what you can do if you wish, go to the end, of your timeline, and you've already got the title clip here. You can save it as whichever name you wish. If you drag that down, and you can have a finishing title clip. Now just move back slightly. What you'll see is it will go from the movie directly into the title clip, and it looks a little bit unprofessional and jerky. So what you can do next is, if you click on more, you can add a transition. A transition is basically to join together different movie clips or images. One I like to use is cube rotation. You've got several to choose from here. Pick whichever one's your favourite. Drag it down into the place where the arrows are. This is where your different clips or title clips will join. Then what you can do is, if you click on clip bin again, now this sometimes doesn't work. Camtasia can be a little bit buggy and it's a little bit frustrating. It will do the transition, but sometimes it won't show when you up here on the right, and you see there it didn't show the transition working. However, it will work when you produce the video. It's a little bit frustrating that Camtasia still has these sort of bugs. I'm going to save this project as, and I'm going to call it training movie. It will save it as a Camtasia project file. That's fine because then we can produce it in several different formats if we wish. Okay. The other thing that is well worth looking at, I'll just insert my marker here, is adding a call out. A call out is, you've got lots of different shapes to choose from, but it can bring attention to various parts of the screen. You can add text, you can blur out certain parts if you're typing in a password. I'm going to add an arrow here and you'll see it appear on the right. You can drag it down and you can resize it, and depending on the one you choose, you can type stuff here. So you may want to draw attention to something here on the screen. Okay, so you can add your own callouts as well. You can add your logos. I press on advance. No. You can actually add your own callouts on the drop down list here. But I'll leave you to experiment with that yourself. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to go to is I'm going to move my marker along here. Oh, by the way, if you've done a call out here, you can actually make it longer, shorter, or you can right click on it and call out duration. You can make it last a bit longer if you wish. But let's go somewhere else in the timeline, just here, and say we're doing something. Yeah, this is ideal. We've got a box here and we want to zoom in to draw attention or to let the viewer have an easier way of viewing it. So we'll click on zoom and pan. I like to untick maintain aspect ratio. What it means is you can resize the box. And this is another bug that I've found on Camtasia. So I've dragged the bottom right, but now if I drag it again, it's turned aspect ratio back on. You may not have this problem on your version. So what I've done now is you can see on the right hand side it's resizing the window to wherever I move it. Great way of drawing attention. So it will remain at this part here. So say you press play, it will keep it here until you resize it. So I'm going to pause it here and I'm going to drag the box back out, and it should have a nice even flow, and it's added it down here in the timeline. You can right click on anything and remove it if you wish. So I'm going to go back here and press play, and you should be able to see the screen zoom back out again. And there we go. So that's your zoom and pan. Other features here. If you've recorded a video, sometimes if it works for you, you can actually record the video and then add the audio later. And what you want to do is, if you click on tracks here, you'll want to add it to track 2. It won't appear unless you click on it down here. And then what you can do is click on voice narration. I often do this when I'm doing a technical video. I'll record it, then write myself a little script. You can click on start recording. You just need to make sure it's going on audio 2, and you can decide which device you want to record from. I recommend a headset, some sort of headset on, for you to do that. So that's your audio. We've done call outs, we've done transitions. Really, I'd like to talk about, because it's a real quick overview, is produce and share. Lots of different ways for you to produce your video. I generally produce mine for web, and it's doing it in the size that I've chosen here. It's an MPEG-4 file. You can produce it for a CD. I often record videos and sell them as CD packs, DVD ready. iPod, again, very popular on iPhone, and if you choose this, it will produce it in the size suitable for that, or you can do your own settings. I'm going to choose web for this, and what I'll do is click on next, give it the detail training movie 2, and I click on finish. It will take a while to produce it. Okay, so it's produced the movie and it's ready to view. So I'm going to click on play, and then hopefully we'll see the transition working. Shows my title clip, and then it should spin round and start playing my movie. That's the end of the mini instruction. If you'd like to see any more, if you come to internet-rich.com, and in the masterclasses I've got a Camtasia tutorial with far more detail.